today is low back and hip day and releasing pain in either of those two areas. We're working on releasing tension from the psoas. The psoas is a really large muscle that connects our trunk to our legs. And the reason why it's so important to release the psoas is because it's really one of the main muscles as part of the hip flexor group that allows us to do everything from biking to running to hiking to going from your sitting desk to your standing desk. And it's also a culprit in low back pain and in hip pain. The reason is your psoas attaches to your legs. It goes through your pelvis and then attaches in your lower back and up and towards the mid back. So when you've got a tight psoas, it pulls on the back and we want to release that. Now, I'm recommending that you do this one before bed because this is a large muscle that we're working on releasing tension through. And I want to make sure that you have the most amount of time for integration and rest in order to get the most benefit out of this one. Because it's a big muscle, it also can get us a little tired too. So find yourself a wall, take your socks off. We don't want you to be sliding and slipping around on the ground. And we're going to be hinging at our hips in order to get the release for this muscle. By hinging at the hips, this is what I mean. When we're hinging like this, what I don't want to see is a back that is arched like this, nor a back that is curved like this. We want to be in good spine alignment with our natural S curve and a neutral back. So as we start to do hinging, if you notice yourself starting to roll the shoulders or arch the lower back, try to reset and focus on staying neutral. So find yourself about a foot to a foot and a half away from the wall to heel. And I want you to make sure you know where this crease is so you know where to hinge, sort of like hinging like a clamshell. So let one foot come up, put a hand in that crease. Let the other leg come up, hand in crease. Shake the legs out slowly, let them fall where they will. This allows them to be well stacked underneath your pelvis in the most supportive stance that you can find. Maybe about there. Now you can use a hand to let yourself come back to the wall. What we're looking for is to have your legs far enough away from you so it feels like the wall and the floor are really supporting your weight. It should not feel like a wall sit at all. If your quads and hamstrings feel like they're holding you up, you probably need to come in closer. The other thing that we're looking for is that when you start to hinge over, you shouldn't feel like you're falling forward either. If that's the case, you'll need to move your feet away. So experiment with that a little bit. So as you start to hinge, you feel like you're well supported and that most of your weight is going either into the wall or into the floor and your legs are really just sort of a stabilizer at this point. So I want you to envision that clamshell slowly shutting on itself. And so the movement is not going to be coming from the head going forward or the chest coming forward because that helps kind of that curl and rounding of the back come in. Think about it as this lower part of your back starting to come forward and hinging over the hips. And the hands here in the hip crease are helpful to show that you are hinging over here. So with as neutral of a spine of the back as you can get. If you can't go this far, totally fine. You'll still get benefit even if you're here. Come as far as you can until you start to notice some compensation in your spine. Make sure you're breathing. And then once you get to the point where you can't go any further, or to the bottom, wherever, slowly start to unhinge and open up. Pushing away and into the ground. Letting that lower back rise. If you're getting really like jerky movements here, that means you should definitely do this exercise every day before bed if you can. Really slowly though, coming up. Breathing well. I always feel like these psoas are sort of like rubber and they kind of creak a little bit if I haven't been very diligent about doing this exercise. And when you get up here, and you really can't get any more erect, then you want to keep your legs bent here at the knee as they are. Use your hands to push yourself away from the wall. I'm just going to scoot back to show you. Then you're going to ground your feet into the ground and push up to allow the psoas to release all the way. Take a couple exhales here, letting any of that residual tension come out. Now, for some people who have really tight psoas muscles, you might already feel really tired from doing this, and that's okay. Just stand here, maybe use your hands to support and lean against the wall a bit and get some stability through those psoases. And I'll ask if you can continue listening to the end of the video so I can give you some care instructions. The rest of us will go back into your position, so about a foot to a foot and a half away, wherever works for you. Kick those legs out if you need to readjust. Come back to lean against the wall, hands where your creases are, and slowly hinge forward. Keeping the spine neutral, and then slowly unhinge. I want you to breathe. When you get up to the wall, keep the knees bent. Definitely use your hands to push yourself up, just to show you. Then ground your feet down, pushing away so that you're fully standing. Couple exhales here. And if you want, go ahead and lean yourself against the wall, staying nice and long through here. Now, a couple things about good care now that we've released the psoas. Like I said, it'd be great if you can do this before bed. So that way when you get into bed, you can let your legs go long and keep them that way as long as you comfortably can. And it gives you the whole night of rest in order to let this therapy integrate and allow that psoas and hip flexor muscle group to lengthen well. The other thing is make sure that you're drinking water to hydrate and get rid of the lactic acid that we have likely released from these contracted muscles. If you can, do an Epsom salt bath. But definitely don't go for a big run, don't go hiking, don't go biking. Try not to go do something where you're going to be sitting again and getting these muscles tight again. And finally, see if you can stay here for a little while and ground well so that you feel like you're stable. So that's it for the big secret of releasing your low back and your hips.